Hey guys, I'm Angelo and welcome back to Crypto Coin Consultants. Today I am very honored to be joined by the one and only Jack Liu, founder and CEO of Wanchain at the Beyond Blocks Summit Tokyo. Jack, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So Jack, how did your experience with Factom help smooth the process with founding Wanchain?
Yeah, definitely. I've been a veteran in the industry, right? Started with investment and been in the industry for a while before I actually founded Factom. I was a CTO and I explained the whole cycle, and especially the downturn at that time in 2013, 2014, how it came back up, right? And how to build a community, how to build the technology, and the experience helped me a lot. At the same time, the architecture or the technical knowledge I have gained or the team has gained, I think helped us a lot. Right? The Factom's design was referenced by many projects, and it's more like a mother chain, sub chain, or child chain. Right? This architecture has been adopted by many other projects, including Wanchain. It's a very similar architecture or thinking how to accomplish this many subchains and cross-chain. So definitely, the experience with Factom helped us a lot.
So are you using the same team as Factom as you are with Wanchain?
Well, not exactly the same team, but some core team members came from Factom.
Okay. And you said you were an early adopter of blockchain technology, and so as an early adopter, how difficult was it to get not just the mainstream financial institutions, but also governments and just the public to adopt blockchain technology in general?
Yeah. I think the blockchain technology was out there in the early days. Was mostly underground, right? Bitcoins and some underground economy, right? And Factom trying to put the data into blockchain and open up the enterprise world, and especially with the Economist the article about Factom and also about the trust machine for blockchain really brought the blockchain technology above ground and put it all the main media to focus on blockchain. So after that, all the government agencies around the world came to us and trying to understand how the blockchain technology can be used for records, record keeping, and immutable records, and also in the financial world, how to apply the blockchain technology to reduce the cost. Right? So we have been working with many financial institutions and enterprises, large enterprises, and also government agencies, trying to apply the blockchain technologies.
So would you say then it was more of financial institutions, enterprises, and governments seeking you out, or you seeking them out?
Both ways.
Both.
Yeah. It has to be education process, because for any new technology, there has to be a process for them to really to take into it, to internalize, right? And first it will be a POC, understand the technology, try it out, and then go from there, right? And understand the power behind the technology.
Okay. And now, was there a specific, during your early adoption and early part of your career, was there a specific aha moment that really made you realize how much of a need there truly was between connecting digital assets and traditional financial assets?
Yeah. I think the aha moment is really Wanchain, right? We're trying to figure out, how to merge the traditional financial world with this new, fast-growing token economy. We're trying to figure out how to move the fiat currency, right? Fiat currency into the blockchain world, because a lot of regulations, you cannot use a cryptocurrency for use as a payment, use a way of in the traditional financial world, right? And once we came to the Wanchain solution, that's a aha moment to figure out, wow, we can integrate with the any of the as long as a blockchainized, or we call it tokenized solution, no matter it's a fiat currency or issued by the government, or it's a token backed up by a bank, commercial bank. As long as they're tokenized, they can all be connected to Wanchain, and those tokens can be flowing into other token economy. And in the traditional commerce world, I pay you money, you give me the goods. So it's really one transaction, and that can be really happening even with the traditional world. We all know in Bitcoin, send you a transaction, it's a done deal, right? You don't have to do another transaction. In the traditional financial world, it's very, very hard. You have to do other, clearance and multiple steps, and you have T plus 5 plus 3, at least long term, to actually clear all those transactions. But once we tokenize, make them a solution on blockchain, it's really one transaction. So there's no clearance, and so significantly reduce all the financial cost.
So by doing this, you're saying you're a big proponent of more peer-to-peer transactions rather than going through third parties, correct?
Exactly. Peer-to-peer, you basically limit all the intermediary or centralized service and further reduce the cost. We call it marginal cost of financial transaction will be close to zero.
Okay. Couple more. And now for our viewers out there, what is the most important aspect of Wanchain that you think often goes overlooked by a lot of Wanchain investors?
I think we have very powerful 3 technologies, right? Privacy, maybe people don't pay that too much attention. They think that we are a cross-chain solution provider, right? But the 3 key components or technologies we provide is really privacy, cross-chain, and smart contracts. All these 3 key components combined together make it really, really powerful. We all know that all the financial transactions or regular businesses, privacy is very, very important. But today, in the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, they're all transparent, and they use big data analysis. A lot of times make it very dangerous for the token owners or the business owners. And we add privacy to it, and once we integrate with, let's say, Bitcoin or Ethereum or other blockchains, those tokens or those blockchains, they don't have privacy implemented, but people can move those tokens or assets into blockchain and create private transactions. They can be integrated with smart contracts, and all the financial transactions in the traditional world, they can be moved to Wanchain, and they can transact over there. And for regulations, a lot of people think that privacy might create a lot of problem for regulations, but we do have technologies. We call it something called view key, and for the parties in the transaction, they authorize a third party or government agency. As long as they're authorized, they can view the details of the transaction.
Oh, so they can kind of set the limit as to how private they want it or how public they want it, is what you're saying?
Well, first of all, for transactions, users can choose whether to use private transaction or not, right? Mm-hmm. And second of all, after the private transaction is conducted, you can authorize a third party to view the details of that transaction.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. Because I remember during your speech today, one thing that I didn't realize is when you mentioned you're featuring a Monero-style privacy feature using ring signatures. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't think most of the public is very aware of that. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, lastly, you introduced Juan Lab to us, where you're talking about moving traditional enterprises over to the blockchain, right? The 3 examples of today were GameBack, UTour, and AllSpark.
Yeah.
Now, are there any industries or company types that you think would not benefit by moving over to the blockchain?
I think I don't see there's any example of that, but I do see that some examples or some companies, they will face more challenges. For example, traditional manufacturing companies or companies that have to deal with physical goods. Right? For the physical goods, when we move them on chain, it will be more challenging. The reason is it's very hard to tie a token or identity on chain with a physical good off chain, right? You have to rely on third party to recognize that one-to-one tie, right? So that's more challenging. The low-hanging fruit, or these 3 projects we're picking, they're already to digital content, right? And we'll be making our whole process a lot easier. So we'll start with these easy projects first, and then move on to more challenging projects.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And are there any last words or anything else you think our viewers or crypto enthusiasts should be aware of? Closing statements?
Yeah, I think Wanchain will be big. And we hopefully we can work with anybody. Right? We are open community. We're trying to create a TCP/IP. We welcome anybody to work with us, or any new projects. They want to build a new application on top of Wanchain, or they can create a LAN chain like all these 3 projects, and the LAN chain can be tied together with the whole ecosystem. Once we build this ecosystem, all these tokens can be flown around into these different economies, and they can help each other, make each other stronger. At the same time, we think that this might be a solution to scale the blockchain, because each smaller network can actually interlock with each other and support each other, and we probably don't have to waste a lot of energy to do the mining. So,
yeah. Okay, yeah. And lastly, when Lambo?
I can't comment on that.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, Jack. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.